From 23rd to 27th September, the British Council Nepal hosted its 4th annual Education Symposium.
Welcome everybody.
Namaskar.
Good afternoon everyone.
Good afternoon.
Namaskar.
It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you to the 4th annual Education Symposium.
With the theme of school leadership, the symposium provided a platform for presentations, debates, and discussions around it. The principles and practices in Nepal and other countries at policy and practice levels involving national and international decision makers, stakeholders, and members of the wider education community.
शिक्षकको गुणस्तर भन्दा गतिलो विद्यालय शिक्षाको गुणस्तर हुन सक्दैन भन्छ.
The annual symposium organized in Kathmandu had to be held virtually this year because of the pandemic. In her inaugural speech, Ambassador Nicola Polit also elaborated in this fact.
These are difficult times for families, for schools, for leaders, but leadership is the most important element now more than ever. So it's really timely that this year's Education Symposium has a focus on leadership and is bringing together leaders in schools and education from across Nepal.
To many extent, success or failure of the schools as in learning institutions largely depends on the practice or quality of the school's leadership. Particularly, I would like to say that role of the teachers.
So this slide basically shows that by replacing an average principal with an outstanding principal in an average school, that could increase student achievement by over 20 percentile points. But I want to draw your attention to the dark blue box on the right-hand side.
Susan further goes on to discuss 3 roles for effective school leadership.
Instructional leadership,
by focusing on improving current instructional practices. Managing change, by leading the change in school when required. And administrative, by maintaining an orderly environment, budget, and other support functions.
School leader अथवा head teacher ले समुदायसँग विद्यालयको सम्बन्धलाई मजबुत बनाउने, समुदायसँग कोलाबोरेसन गर्ने अथवा समुदाय परिचालन गर्ने काम अनि विद्यालयमा कार्यरत सम्पूर्ण शिक्षकहरूलाई गुणस्तरीय शिक्षण सिकाइमा परिचालित गर्ने काम गर्छ र त्यसैले लिडरशिप भनेको नै के हो त भन्दा इन्फ्लुएन्सिङ अदर्स हो.
In the publication Developing Effective Learning in Nepal, launched by the British Council in the symposium, Gopal Bashyal, a teacher educator from Palpa, emphasizes the same point in his case study.
School leadership is a very vital component to ensure the continuous professional development of teachers and maintain the connection between the students' learning, professional development.
School leaders must lead from the front, assess risk, and work with the new local governance and federal authorities. They must really help all students to catch up and leave no child behind. That includes children from Dalit and Janjati backgrounds, children with disabilities, poor and obviously female students.
अब नेपालको संविधानले विद्यालय शिक्षाको अधिकार स्थानीय तहमा दिएको छ. प्रधानाध्यापकको सन्दर्भमा चाहिँ स्थानीय तहले संघीय रूपमा भएका मापदण्डहरू पालना गर्ने गरी नम्बर 1 ती हेड टिचरहरूसँग सहकार्य गरेर काम गर्न सक्छ, गभर्नेन्समा सहयोग गरेर काम गर्न सक्छ. त्यो खाली भयो भने नयाँ नियुक्ति गर्दाखेरि एउटा पारदर्शी पद्धति अवलम्बन गरेर नयाँ नियुक्ति गर्नलाई सक्छ. नेटवर्किङ गर्न, शेयरिङ गर्न, कोअर्डिनेसन गर्न, यी कामहरू गर्नलाई अहिलेको कानुनले, अहिलेको संघीय मापदण्डले रोकेको छैन.
Both federal and provincial authorities have assured policies that benefit schools and head teachers. Local governments, however, have grievances against them and its implementation. Head teachers are even more disillusioned.
चुनौती के छ भने हामीसँग भनेर हामीसँग खास चुनौती संघीय सरकारले बनाएको नियमावली स्थानीय स्तरमा पुनः लागू गर्ने व्यावहारिक हामीसँग कठिनाइ छन्, किनभने बाधा अवसरहरू पनि कानुनी अवसरहरू पनि छन्. विद्यालय र राजनीतिक क्षेत्र हस्तक्षेप बन्द गर्न पनि हामीसँग ठुलो चुनौती छ.
जुन हिसाबले हाम्रो शिक्षा कार्यालय मार्फत हामी सञ्चालन गर्थ्यौँ, स्थानीय तहमा आएर त बन्जाकुल अवस्थामा भएको थियो. साथीहरूले यो तालिम लिनु भएको छैन.
मैले एउटा सानो उदाहरण दिन्छु. दैलेखगढा गुराँसमा हामीले 14वटा विद्यालयको प्रजिउको हेरेका थियौँ कि 5-7 वर्ष काम गरेको. उहाँहरूले यो 30 दिनको तालिम लिने कतिजना हुनु रहेछ भन्दा 1 जनाले लिनुभएको रहेछ 14 जना मध्ये है. अनि एकजनाले त्यो 30 दिन होइन 15 दिनको लिनुभएको रहेछ, त्यसपछि पाउनु भएन। अरू चाहिँ धेरै हामी तालिम भनेर यसरी चाहिँ जुन सिस्टमबाट चाहिँ 30 दिनको तालिम लिने भनेको छ नि, प्रभाव भइसकेपछि पनि त्यो खाले तालिम नपाएको देखिन्छ। अब तपाईँ प्रधानाध्यापकको भूमिका भनेको त प्राविधिक र प्रशासनिक प्रमुख हो नि त। प्रधानाध्यापक धेरै जसो अलमल चाहिँ कहाँ हुनुहुन्छ भने प्रशासनिक काम, म्यानेजमेन्टको काममा। लिडरसिप फङ्सन मैले त एकदमै असाध्यै धेरै 5-10% जति मात्रै देखिन्छ क्या।
These complaints were echoed throughout the symposium from many participants and audiences as well.
Head teachers are more concerned with the administrative function. In this context, how can we motivate them towards creating broader and more global learning environments in their institutions?
Deputy Mayor of Shivaraj Municipality, Shivakumari Tharu, elaborates on their practices and plans.
आजसम्म स्थानीय सरकारले बैठकलाई निरन्तरता दिएको छ, गोष्ठी अन्तर्क्रिया विमुखीकरण कार्यक्रमको निरन्तरता दिएको छ। त्यो निरन्तरता दिने जसमध्ये एउटा उत्कृष्ट परलाई सभा सम्मेलनमा हैन कुनै गोष्ठीमा चाहिँ उले पुरस्कृत गर्ने, जसले राम्रो काम गरेको छ आफ्नो विद्यालयले, उनीहरूलाई भ्रमण गराएर हुन्छ कि तालिम दिएर हुन्छ कि अन्य ठाउँ हेर्न पठाएर हुन्छ, के गराएर हुन्छ, त्यो परको चाहिँ नेतृत्व विकास हुन्छ र त्यो विद्यालय चाहिँ सुधारमा ल्याउन सकिन्छ।
त्यो पहिलो कुरा उहाँहरूले त्यो दण्ड र पुरस्कार दिँदाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति धेरै जस्तो पोलिटिकलाइज हुन्छ के, राजनीति हस्तक्षेप नगरिकन चाहिँ उहाँहरूले गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ। दोस्रो, अब हेड टिचरलाई प्रहलाई मात्रै पुरस्कृत गर्ने भन्दा मेरो आफ्नो चाहिँ सुझाव के हो भने विद्यालयको प्रणालीलाई हजुरहरूले चाहिँ राम्रो गर्ने विद्यालय भनेर गर्नुभयो भने त्यहाँको सबै शिक्षकहरू लाग्नुहुन्छ, प्रह पनि लाग्नुहुन्छ, अभिभावक पनि लाग्नुहुन्छ, बालबालिका पनि राम्रो लाग्नुहुन्छ। हाम्रो विद्यालयले मैले त के भने इनोभेसन फन्ड भन्छु कि स्थानीय सरकारले यस्तो इनोभेसन फन्ड चाहिँ राखोस् हैन, नयाँ अलिकति सृजनशील काम गर्ने विद्यालयलाई दिने खाले राम्रो गर्नेलाई चाहिँ त्यसरी पुरस्कृत गरेर त्यो चाहिँ सिस्टम चाहिँ काम गर्छ कि जस्तो लाग्छ।
Apart from leadership, the symposium also touched upon digital literacy, collaborative learning culture, and importance of core skills for global learning. Integrating all these themes, Dr. Khumraj Pathak contextualized them beautifully in the Nepali context.
Nepali culture and society are already rich in soft core skills. For centuries, people in Nepal have worked together, shared each other's joys and pains, and used their initiative to survive untold horrors. Now we need to give young people the confidence to apply these skills, which flourish in communities, to the more challenging environment of work. We have to unlearn the perception that career development means becoming a cold, hard robot. We need lifelong learning, which develops soft core skills, whilst solving the local economy and its geographical challenges, and crucially, promoting Nepal's agricultural self-sufficiency and independence. The less fear there is in the classroom, the less intimidating the world of work will seem. Once Nepalese feel safe to let our creativity go free without fear and nurture of our existing strength, there is no limit to what we can achieve.
प्रहको विकास, प्रहको छनौट, प्रहको अधिकार जस्ता विषय ज्यादै महत्त्वपूर्ण छ। शिक्षकको विकास महत्त्वपूर्ण छ। शिक्षक आफैमा रिफ्लेक्टिभ प्र्याक्टिसनरको रूपमा विकास गर्न सक्ने गरी हामी तयार गर्नु जरुरी छ। सक्षम शिक्षकबाट मात्रै गुणस्तरीय पढाइ हुन सक्छ र कमजोर सामाजिक आर्थिक अवस्थाका विद्यार्थीको लागि विशेष सहयोगको कार्यक्रम हामीले कुनै न कुनै ढंगले सोच्नु जरुरी छ।
After the 5 days virtual symposium, these were the top recommendations that were distilled out of the talks, discussions, and presentations. Competency framework should be developed to guide the recruitment, professional development, and performance management of school leaders. Learning cultures where head teachers are encouraged to visit each other's schools to support and share ideas regularly. Professional development opportunities should take a practical approach focusing on local needs and individual contexts. Create an enabling environment for head teachers to move away from administrative tasks and focus on the quality aspects of school development. And research and evidence-based approach should be taken involving representatives from the federal and local governments, head teachers, teachers, and students in finding gaps between policies and implementation.